We are on layer cake bounty. We already kind of mentioned it. Throwers not really in the meta at the moment. It's all around those BBs, those bulls, everything with buffies. And we see a lot of those buffy brawlers actually already banned out in Leon Crow on the one side and then Bull on the other side alongside Meeple and Ellie. Right hand side immediately picks up Jean. That used to be a mainstay on a map like this one. Is he still as strong now?
I mean, it doesn't seem as strong. I mean, I'd like to say that BB has like instantly slipped through the bans. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's a bit of a worry for me. Might not be the best map for her, but we'll see if it does come down. Spike going to be the first pick for Fut Esports. This is one we saw picked up a lot yesterday. It was one of the, I think it was top 5 most picked kit coming in as well here for Fut Esports too. It's just that Spike's been super versatile in kit. It's just a brawler that can be super, super annoying, can be a thrower, can use that hypercharge, just jump in, stun people. So definitely pretty solid on a mode like Bounty.
Could be a bow coming in here, potentially. For the side of
as much as you love it.
As much as I love it, yeah, for sure.
He's a big fan of the bonus.
We're going to see a lot more, I feel. Ruffs, I think, could be a good shout as well. Just to kind of helping hand things. Jean not going to have the highest DPS, so something like that could hand something over. Sometimes Miko is a brawler which this team like to bring in as well. Some, which could be Claudina's pairing. I mean, it's a good thing to have in the back pocket. Sometimes Fut do like to bring in a buzz, so having something to be able to defend against that kind of thing could go quite well here. But definitely still options available. But Fut Esports can bring in some really troublesome brawlers in this third and final pick. Buster could be a big one of those.
I'd like in some aggression here as well, as you already mentioned. Buzz, Buster, maybe also Kenji and Kaze could have some more showings today. We saw them quite often yesterday. And for me personally, Kenji, just to get that blue star in mid right from the get-go, especially now with Mortis banned out, he would be a good shout, and there he is. I still got it.
It's a really good pick from them as well, because I think it takes it off the hands of Fut, who are going to be pretty capable on that brawler too. So, and they've got enough range as it is. The Jean got good range. Cordelia's can shoot a few shots out, but on the other side, it's kind of just the Spike at the moment who's got any range at all. So, it might be a slight risk for them to double down and go another aggressive brawler along with the kit, but I think that would be its best pairing. You need something that's going to be able to carry that kit on its back and allow it to be in that thrower form. Here comes the Buster, so something tanky, got a lot of HP. Shield can be pretty decent as well, so we'll see how that one plays out.
I do quite like this Fut Esports comp, to be honest. I mean, Kit obviously now going to be even more supportive in that position, and with a Buster, it's going to encourage that kind of team synergy to hunker down together, and it's very hard against that when you're against the back walls and you've got 3 members with a lot of stars potentially on the side of FA Kebap. That can just shift the tides so incredibly quickly. What kind of comp are you preferring yourself?
I honestly don't mind the right side, to be honest. I quite like what FA Kebab have brought to the table here. I think it's pretty solid. Taking the Kenji away from Fut Esports is always going to be a big thing, and it's a great brawler on this map as well. In the kind of dying seconds with the supers, able to kind of self-heal quite a lot as well. Can definitely save your life. They do have the Cordelius as well to be able to deal with the Buster, but I feel like they can quite easily be overwhelmed with this comp.
Well, of course, as you'd expect with the Kenji, the blue star being there with FA Kebab, and Fut Esports not really too bothered because they prefer to hand over that super to Guesty to help Angel Boy, who's now using the cardboard box yet, who swipes in before coming back immediately to helping hand his teammates on the healing side and pressure onto Ray on the left.
Yeah, Ray not in a good position here at all. The shield instantly goes up, and Fut Esports quite simply take the lead. Didn't really take much damage at all there, with Kit doing a good job being on Buster's back. I'm not sure if Ray kind of forgot about that situation, but he did just stay on the left and didn't really fight back too much. So, lead with Fut Esports, but can quite easily be brought back with FA Kebab. You know, the Gene Pulls, the Cordelia Supers can quite easily single someone out.
Now, UP going to be quite cautious with this Kenji pick, and already taking a lot of damage, forced out of the super, but going to come straight back immediately into the hands of Guesty. That's not looking too good as for FA Kebab. Only got that blue star to show for it so far, not a single kill. This Kenji pick, you know, timing things aggressively is the key, and you just cannot go down.
Well, Yuffie back in an aggressive position again. Cordelius did kind of just waste a super, didn't get a kill off the back of it. Now, back on the back of Angel Boy, gets a nice kill here as well with that kit. Ray trying to get some shots on the right side. The pull goes through, and actually, damage pull hits, and down he goes, but it still hasn't really changed the tides of the match just yet.
Well, hypercharge available for Nob, 15 seconds. It's going to be go time here for FA Kebab to be able to turn this one around in the realm. Ray brings Nob on the right hand side. Left, Guesty going on the aggressive with his teammate as well. Ray survives, but it's not really going to do too much. There's just too many stars on the side of Fut Esports. They got things done pretty early on in that game.
I mean, it's as expected. It was just calm and composed, really. Didn't seem like they were in a decent position for the majority of the game, to be honest, FA Kebab, but you know, Fut never really wavered. They just stood strong, knew they could get kills. I mean, Cordelius realm spike a couple of times and kind of failed to get kills. Gene only really one super. They've all just sat in quite nicely, played slow and calm, and just not fed the supers. It just looked really, really convincing from Fut.
Again, taking things with a hint of composure, it must be said, but already though, FA Kebab with a better start now. Blue Star is with the Kenji of Yuffie. Trades going left and right. That 1-star differential still in favour of FA Kebab here. It's definitely a much different way to play things out in the starting hands, but Esports now putting their foot on the gas somewhat.
Guess he just threw up a shield there as well. Wanted control without having to feed the Gene pull. But in the end, he gets it anyway. And down goes Guesty as he gets pulled in. 3-star lead. The Invis coming through. And Angel Boy gets just scouted by Yuffie. And he picks up the kill as well. Much better look this for FA Kebab. And now they've got to push into a Gene pull too.
Now Yuffie's got to be really cautious. If he goes down, it'll be 8 stars to 10, and there's just one singular kill to get in the final seconds. So FA Kebab trying to extend things even more would be the play here, but Yuffie already, just about comes out on top there. That's going to be a 7-star lead now for FA Kebab.
Well, Dede's not in a good spot coming out of the realm here with Guesty straight on top of him. He's going to go down and get traded out, and that re-establishes that 5-star lead. Gets caught in a little super here, but that's not going to do too much. And I think a little bit of vision gear there across from the right of Dede. Just scouted out Angel Boy in the cardboard box.
Needs to find a magic hand, though, to have in these final moments. He's struggling so far, has got the hypercharge, and I'm always a bit nervous when a Gene has a hypercharge because it's one of those brawlers which doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have that explosive moment. Sometimes it can be the very thing which pins you against the wall. Now, as we're seeing FA Kebab start to rotate around the map and actually go straight back towards Fut Esports Sport.
Well, hypercharge there for Yuffie as well. That's going to pull them back into a bit of a tricky spot. He goes down, and the game ends. Real nice stuff there from FA Kebab. Just a better start, a few trades that went their way, and now they tie the score in bounty.
I like Fut Esports here might start to slow the pace down. It didn't really work out by trying to push themselves forwards prematurely. Need to feed that utility over to the Buster, allow themselves that better chance of survivability, in my opinion. But nonetheless, Kit can get some good value early on, especially that gadget with the cardboard box to be able to get behind enemy lines. Let's see how they approach things already. Too afraid to continue the assault, it seems.
Yeah, well, Blue Star's always going to go FA Kebab's way realistically with the Kenji, so they get the better start of the game and force Fut to push into this Gene and feed a few supers. So they're just waiting for this Buster Shield to be available, Kit super as well, obviously, and then they can push forward without really feeding. It does use a super of their own, but gives them the positioning to be able to turn the game.
Well, this seems very much like that first game, which did go more towards the side of Fut. And just a couple of takedowns is all they realistically need here to gain the lead. So the first initial sign of that is going to be quite key here. But trying to play into things and not feeding into the Genes will be quite key. Angel Boy flanking around here as well. They haven't seen him down now. Some missed swipes as they pick him up, just keeping themselves at a nice amount of distance.
Just trying to take them by surprise here. A nice realm there from Cordelius as well, straight onto the Buster. It just disrupts that matchup with Angel Boy and Guesty. Gets him off his back and forces that 1v1, but didn't get much back from it. No damage onto Guesty really either, and Yuffie trying to make a move round the back. A hypercharge available from Guesty now, and he just pops another shield, forcing them round, and this is a similar situation as last time, and it works out in Kebab's favour.
Here, Guesty with the hypercharge, a great gadget here as well, the support of Angel Boy. Will give Fut Esports a healthy lead here of 3 stars and the blue. Ray staying in position here, creeping maybe towards the hypercharge, which would come in at a nice time, but there, the connection between Angel Boy and Guesty yet again. Going to keep that survivability in check. The helping hand there, the life plant gadget as well. There's not trying to double down on these heals.
Cordelius realm available yet again. Yuffie might need to work for a super here, and he actually did miss it there. Gets one of his own, now throws it over the top, and Guesty will get him upon return. Nob just surviving narrowly for now. That would close it to 1 star. Super comes in, and I think he pops his hypercharge at the same time. Big waste from him, but something needed to happen, and it's sadly not going to for FA Kebab here as they clean everybody up, and Fut Esports take the first set.
What a time for Fut Esports to jump on that Cordelius. I mean, realistically there, that would have been a hypercharge, which may have brought some stars. I don't think they're necessarily enough to win the game regardless, but still Fut Esports not taking any chances. I was surprised to see them actually drop a game in that set, so they obviously felt the same way, and very quickly knuckled down to get it right.
A nice try from FA Kebab, and yes, they did at least take a game, and it's already something not many have done before. Not many have bested this beast in Fut Esports, Trev. I'm really looking forward to the next one. I still feel like Fut is probably going to take this one, but the more we see of FA Kebab, the better for them as well to gain some experience to take this basically as a script for the future. Maybe we see them back next month.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. In certain moments, they played really well, but did just seem to get pinned in corners in certain situations and constantly getting pushed over to that right-hand side. And it worked out for them in one instance, but in the other, it really did not. Guesty with 10 here, Angel Boy with 5. Nob just being that consistent factor, peppering them down, has the most DPS, but obviously the least kills. Over the other side, no one really standing out too much. Dede with some nice shots here and there, but in the end, they do take the loss.
Yeah, it's a really great scoreline for Guesty there as well. It's not an easy brawler to make work on this map either, but with the helping hand of that kit, which was already brewing in the draft, I could see it coming, and when that's combined, it allows Guesty to be able to do so much more. But that's the kind of synergy that we like to see with this squad, and the way that they go back so far, working together, that synergy works perfectly in that brawler pairing.
You know what? Whenever I see the kit, I already think cheese comp, which is kind of something we expected to come out of FA Kebab. They played a really solid comp in this one, so not really cheese from them so far. Let's see if it's going to look any different on Double Swoosh. And as you said, Kit and Buster just brought in that synergy. It wasn't really a cheese comp. Player draft has already started here. They rush ahead. Sandy, Mita, and Lily on the left-hand side banned out. Lily, of course, one of the best brawlers to have on any gem grab map if you want to start a comeback. And they're going to have Chester and Stu already. Stu usually a gem carrier. I love him on Double Swoosh. We haven't seen him in quite some time though, Trey.
Yeah, I think that's really smart because it's going to have the ability to just kind of retreat, get away from these two brawlers who can switch the game so easily if they get near someone. So I like that from Nob. I like it a lot. Guesty as well, bringing the Chester in. I think that's a really solid pick too. We saw it, heaps and heaps in East Asia yesterday as one of the more consistent brawlers. Same along with Spike to just be down the lane and have a say in the majority of matchups. Gale's going to come in now as well for Esports. I would not have expected that one at all, but obviously, it's going to be pretty good to push back the Shelly, the Ali, but you've also got to be very cautious of wasting that if Ali's in the bush and can just quite simply jump over it.
Yeah, it's been tested a little bit in this region. Now looking for maybe a mid here for the side of FA Kebab, maybe the Gene. Let's see. But yeah, Gale rather is one of those brawlers that's just not really got much playtime realistically here. It's surprising in this kind of meta, but let's see. It's an interesting draft on the side of Fut Esports. It is going to be the Gene as well. Yeah, they did that to have that mid, allow the Shelly to be able to go off from those lanes and the Ali to go on the aggressive. But the Ali's going to be a tough one to make work with the Gale now.
Two super aggressive lanes on the right-hand side there. Left-hand side, Stu, of course, can dash away if he has a super available once Gene has his pull. So that's actually not a bad pairing in terms of gem carrier there. I like it. Really looking forward to this one. And keep in mind here, FA Kebab has the chance to cause the biggest upset today if they manage to take even just a set of Fut.
I mean, at this point, it wouldn't surprise me if they do get a set. They didn't look too bad in the first one at all, but I think taking this game is going to be a real tough one for them. And I mean, I don't dislike their comp by any means. If anything, I'm questioning Fut Esports comp a little bit more, but we'll see if this Gale does pay off. Usually if a brawler like that gets picked up, then they're going to have a lot of faith.
Guesty already on the lower HP side of things, forces out there a Twister to stay alive against Didi. Yuki now looking to turn to this left-hand side, and it's not going to find too much of a good matchup as Angel Boy there already going to be on 3 of those shots, ready and waiting. And immediately goes down with the helping hand there of Nob.
Really tough one for her. At the moment, it seems like the Gene's playing more of a lane role than the Shelly is, because obviously the Gale over there is not going to be having, well, it's going to be having a very good time against the Shelly. And third gem there for Ray as well. We saw also the Shelly being a gem carrier played out yesterday. A little invis there for Ali, but gets knocked back. I'm sure Guesty wanted to push her against that wall to get the stun, because he's not running the slow, so something he's going to have to be a little bit more cautious in the future. And a really nice twist to defend that yet again.
Yeah, the action is all in the lane size, and the meanwhile Nob is just being able to clear out these gems from the mid. Got to be cautious now as Ray has got that shell shock to hand. Yuffie's still trying to win this match versus Guesty, and Guesty's not really getting the connections on this stun. Now the gems are in peril though, on the side of FA Kebab, very low HP, and everyone being forced to the left.
Yeah, I mean, that's something I said he's got to be cautious of, jumping over those supers, but even when he missed the super, he was winning the matchup. So it's a huge thing for Guesty here, has the stun available as well, might just want to kind of throw it out in spawn, but just going to wait. Because now he's just going to be able to defend Nob so well, but he's actually going to go down. He's going to result in the 10 gems over his head, which I don't think they'll mind, considering he's got this defensive super and very few bushes that Ali can use.
Yeah, it's definitely the second best person to have the gems, and I think there's not enough time realistically here for Epic Kebap to get anything from the mid. And look at this, I mean, unless you can do something, the +3 blow will get him regardless of that Gale. And for Esports, again, with a pretty clean game.
Yeah, I mean, it looked good. No complaints from me other than, a couple of missed supers from Guesty, but in the end it really didn't matter in the grand scheme. They were winning the lane regardless, doing a solid job, and as you said, it's just the Stu constantly picking up gems off the opponent's side when the lanes are giving them some grief, and they add up. If you just get a few gems off the other side, it makes quite a big canyon of a gap of gems in between the two teams.
Well, Yuffie already going super aggressive early on, both Nob and Angel Boy there, and Nob only just gets away from it, so a trade at least, and some pressure, if nothing else, in that early outset. But still, 3 gems now. Epic Kebap is a good start. Nob sort of catching up to do here.
Yeah, Band-Aid popped on the right-hand side. Yuffie coming in again, and Nob just able to dash away quite a few times, but will eventually get the kill. Yuffie still in spawn, forced to kind of run away now, doesn't have any bushes to jump with just yet, but eventually gets in one. And he actually gets some good damage on Angel Boy too. They're having a lot more of a hard time getting this kill on him, and the Gene Pull is available now as well, but Nob with a dash should be able to evade that quite nice.
Guess using super there just to actually get a kill there onto Ray. Keep the pressure onto Didi. Now Yuffie coming around this right-hand side, considering his options. A nice magic hand there. Nice stuff from Didi. Does actually go down there in the process, I think. Ray there, still trying to clear up the scraps. Guess he's just really going so aggressive into this ball.
I'm not sure how he went down, considering it was a Shelly and a Gene on top of each other against a Gale, but nonetheless, great stuff from Guesty, and he did cycle his super back in that spawn, which must have been used, surely. Throws it out now to push Yuffie into a shot of Angel Boy, and that's a lovely little combination. They pulled out there, and Angel Boy, with a 5 spread of shots, will get the kill. It's Fut Esports in the lead, but for a lot of this game, it really didn't look like that was going to be the case.
At the moment, Yuffie's doing great on the aggressive, but it feels to me like FA Kebap are a bit stuck inside their own head, but it's not really able to breathe, as Fut Esports really know the time to strike. Is a lovely cycle there, the hypercharge of Angel Boy really going to town with this FA Kebap spawn. They can't get out of this, they're just trapped in, and despite the agility of that brawler that Yuffie's playing, they just cannot get close with it. Ali just shut back so many times in this match, and Ray with some shots, but it's still Nob who's able just to walk back calmly to spawn and not really too deterred by the whole thing. Is Fut Esports going to be taking yet another set?
I mean, to be fair, it didn't even look like he was really walking back to spawn. He was baiting out the Gene Super one more time. I think he was maybe overly confident there, and just about able to get this job done. Hypercharge at the end there, gets him some heals back. So really nice stuff from Fut again. They just looked so relaxed. First half of that game, though, it didn't look like it was going to go their way. The alley was starting to be a bit better, focusing down on the Stu a bit more, getting a few kills. But in the end, the ending's the same. It really is. Another set to fall.
A clean set, a clean 2-0 for Fut Esports, and a clean shaven Angel Boy. Some things are new, the others aren't. Fut Esports, we don't see them lose many sets, honestly. Last month it was the same story, 3-0, maybe a 3-1 once in a while, but they're looking as strong as last month already. I do have them down going all the way into the grand finals. We'll see if the semis are going to be just as smooth as this one is going so far. Yesterday we did have a couple of upsets, and they started as a reverse sweep arc.
Yeah, which is a big ask at this stage, I will say, with FA Kebap. I think they've done well to get a game. I would like to see at least maybe a set if they can, but it's going to be a really, really tough thing to do. I mean, you can just see how locked in Fut Esports really are. Angel Boy there with 10 for 150 DPS also to his name. I mean, they're just really working well, harmoniously, you could say. FA Kebap might be at the depth.
At least we can safely say now that Fut Esports are not underestimating anyone. It was kind of FA Kebap's hope that maybe they didn't really prepare for us, but it really looks like they're as locked in as ever. They're not underestimating anyone, and that really what makes a great team even greater, to just always give it their all.
Yeah, I think on game day this is exactly what Fut are going to do. Maybe they'll have a few messes about here and there if they're super confident, but at the end of the day, it really does seem like this team is as locked in as any. We're going to see Leon as the first pick, which seems like a little bit of a slip through the bans to me. Really solid pick on this map. But then ban-wise, looking at the Poco, the Ali, and the Mo over the right, the Otis, the Chester, and the Crow.
There's a bigger slip of Bull. I'm surprised, to be honest.
And BB through again.
And BB again. But Bull is the top pick brawler. It's 100% win rate for Esports. So unless they're just kind of like seeing whether they want to go down with a hard counter and leave it open to see what happens on the side of FA Kebab. But yeah, BB and Bull, to be left open in Brawl Ball is such a dangerous prospect. So I want to see brawlers like, Otis, the band being there on the side of FA Kebab. it carries a lot more weight actually. When
and
you
Mo
consider
banned
that
out
very
as
thing.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are some of the bigger counters to these brawlers banned out, but I think it is a risk to take them so early on in the draft, so maybe we'll see them a bit later.
Pin or Punt is one of those maps where it's all about mid-control, so Otis and Jester, brawlers like these, are usually first to pick up. Both of them banned out here. Stu and Ruffs are going to be picked up instead, and this kind of looks like a 2023 draft to me right now, Trev, where Stu is countered by Ruffs. That's why I picked them up both. But in the meantime, there's just so many better brawlers, especially on a map like this one, where again, it's all about getting that area control in mid. Leon does a better job at that now with his lollipop drop, gives the additional speed to his teammates. Alongside it, a Neeple could follow. The Bull you mentioned, there's so many options. They're going to go with even more speed. Leon and Max, what a toxic combination.
I mean, just running it down, it seems. As you said, that lollipop drop buff is really, really good. You get a bit of a lingering speed as you exit it as well. So even if you're running out of it, you're still quite fast. Max on top of that to provide some more speed. If they take something aggressive here, which I assume they will with this pairing, it's going to be really hard to stop. It's not like they've got massive DPS on the right side as well. They're actually going with the Nita. So just something to tank a lot of these shots down, and obviously it's helpful to have a bear running at a Stu and a Ruffs who aren't going to be able to deal with it too fast.
It's so interesting to see both sides really just evading the elephant in the room, really, because they both want to be able to try to deflate the prospect of a BB, of a Bull, try to have something that can evade it, and the Max is kind of perfect. If they go Bull now, then they're going to hold on to that max speed and just apply it at the right time to try to get out the way of it, because Bull can cycle now and be a team-wide brawler. Kettle going to come in. This is wild. This is actually crazy to see a drop play itself out where both sides know exactly what they want to go for, but are just focusing more on the counters.
I do like Danita on the left-hand side there, not bringing too much range with her, but still very, very good on a map like this one. As I said, mid-control is everything. The Stu is going to struggle so much with that bear. He doesn't really have the DPS to truly chip him down. Fut Esports could make this a quick game. What was the quickest game we had yesterday in Brawl Ball, Trev, again?
Yeah, I don't know. It must have been about 16 seconds or something like that. It was literally just a walkover from one of the teams in the quarterfinals. It was really, really great gameplay, but that was with, I think that was when a Bull slipped through, I want to say. So that's got the more aggressive stance. They do have, speed and everything on the side of Fut Esports, but I don't think it's going to be a walkover comp at all.
I think this is what we're going to kind of see more as well as the day goes on. Teams already trying to get ahead of these brawlers that are so dangerous and have an answer to them. That's kind of what your scrims are all about. It's not necessarily just kind of trying and testing the best and the most powerful brawlers. It's how do you counter them when they're there. So far though, Epic Kebab get 2 members of Fut Esports down, try and push up the map, but then they leave the ball free and able for Fut Esports immediately as that kind of take back more control.
Yeah, I mean the speed is here as well from Nob. Angel Boy Invis currently at the moment going to go for Dede over the left-hand side. Doesn't get the kill, but Nob will bring him low. I feel like they just really need a Nita bear to be able to push them out of this position. Not much DPS on the side of FA Kebap, but seems to just have them pinned so heavily in spawn at the moment. I don't think I've seen Guesty hit a shot yet.
No take cover for the Ruffs, no sandbags for Leon. It's kind of an interesting choice there, kind of depending upon their superiority. Now they have a lollipop drop, as we know, with the help of the Buffy. That additional speed in which it brings the wider radius is really quite dangerous. And we're now on the right-hand side, really trying to pressure and continuously get that invisibility rolling now with hypercharge as well.
Yeah, Angel Boy going forwards now. We're not going to have the Invisi-Heal because that just seems like a different build at the moment that people are kind of going towards with the smoke trails. So, had to hold off, wait this out, and Guesty in a better position now as the need. You want in these aggressive positions, peeking around the walls. Hypercharge is available for Nob as well, so he just needs to work on a super, then can provide that to his teammates as well. And this is the first time we've really seen Fut Esports out their half.
Well, the speed zone will be helpful to allow Epic Kebab to be able to maneuver. It's gone down now. It's to be placed again. Not by trying to find an option here with the help of Guesty. Good pitch. Now Angel Boy from the right-hand side. Epic Kebab are being really squeezed here. It's desperation. And sure, the Gale being the last man standing is probably the best person to have in a 1v3.
Yeah, he's actually just broken a little bit of his home wall there as well. Guesty still hasn't thrown down this bear, and this is the first one he's had all game. Angel Boy gonna get a super and cycle it out yet again, and a hypercharge for Nob. Ready and waiting, and in this overtime, this Invis, this super, are gonna be nasty for the side of Fut Esports.
Hypercharge Max coming in as well. The energy drink, not making a beeline for that ball on the right-hand side as Angel with the left-hand side as well, keeping the pressure on. Now with the hypercharge as well, Didi tries to bend, gets some good shots as well, but not trying to find a phase shift through. The ball is loose, it's with Angel Boy, the ball's about to go down, can he find the angle? It's deflected, but it's just him as the last man standing. It's going to be match point for Fut Esports.
I mean, it wasn't a fast game at all, and Fut Esports weren't in control of it. It was pretty 50-50 first half of the game. was spent in Fut Esports half, and they were pinned in spawn. And then as soon as they started to get a bit of that ground, you know, Angel Boy got a super or something, managed to push out, and the second half of the game was all on the side of FA Kebab. Eventually managed to force that ball in, and you know, it was a bit of a situation where everybody kind of just fell down, and Angel Boy was just kind of left there, kicking the ball into an open goal.
Make or break now for FA Kebab. We've only really got that one game to show in the first set, and already speed coming through. There's a lot of aggression here. There's a twister going down, a twister of desperation, really, and the super there from Ray to clear the ball. But for Esports to be able to pass that forward pretty quick, and actually Angel Boy going to use a super to do so as well. It's going to be a goal as quickly as that's in the opening 30 seconds of play.
And that's much better from Fut Esports. They just seem a bit more in control of this match. Didn't get pushed back to spawn in the early game, and now we do see a little knockback available from the Gale as well, so he's probably going to have to use that here, and Duz gets a nice stun on both the Bear and Gessie, but he just used that invulnerability. Now a hypercharge speed comes down, and Angel Boy trying to push up along with Nob. He's going to go for the fade chip. Can he get the goal? Just off the line by Yuffie, but everything is being thrown at them right now, and Angel Boy can surely get this across, and Gessie will finish this quarterfinal in a 3-0.
Very much what we expected to see from Fut Esports in their quarterfinals match. A little question mark in that first that we thought, you know, could this be them up against the set? Or they're wasting no time at all. It's straight off the match, straight on some ping pong. I love to see it. Fut Esports clearly in some good amount of confidence here today, because you know, they're as competitive in table tennis as they are clearly in Brawl Stars.
Oh, they're just staying warm. They're just keeping warm for the next match. Listen, they've got 3 more quarterfinals until they play again, so got to keep those hands warm.
I was about to say the same exact thing. They have to stay warm. They have to wait 3 quarterfinals now for them to play again in semi-final number 1. Fut Esports is going to move up already. Now they're just waiting for their opponent, and it's either going to be Team Heretics or Navi. Talk a little bit more about FA Kebab though. That's some good moments, definitely. They at least made Fut Esports work for this 3-0 here. The 3-0 does not really reflect how close it was at times. At least in the first one they took a game. In this last one we at least had overtime, you know. No more 16 seconds games in Brawl Ball today.
Yeah, I was impressed by FA Kebab. I still wasn't completely convinced that they were going to be able to do much against the inevitable, to be completely honest. Like Fut Esports, you know, today are, you know, well aware of what they got to live up to, and